There it
I'm
goes.
recording.
Woo.
Happy
Hello.
Monday, everyone.
What's up, children?
You sounded so thrilled.
I am thrilled. Luke and I made homemade Rice Krispie treats. I ate 3 of them and I don't feel good anymore.
Homemade Rice Krispie treats are trash. Sorry. I've never eaten a homemade Rice Krispie treat that holds a candle to a store-bought Rice Krispie treat.
Well, no, but I mean, they'll taste good.
Yeah, they're like fine, but never have I ever had a homemade Rice Krispie treat that tastes as good as a store-bought one.
Yeah. Anyway, I ate too many.
And that's where I stand. That's my hard stance for this week.
That's our political debate for today.
Discuss amongst yourselves.
Tell us in the comments.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Leah. I'm full of Rice Krispie treats.
And you're listening to Music Mondays.
Yes, you are.
This is episode 77, we believe. We didn't really clarify.
77. Did I put makeup
77?
on today? No.
Could be 78.
You ever just rub your eyes really hard and you're like, oh God, wait, am I going to just start burning viciously? So this week, kids, we are talking about a little band called Valley. They have an album called Maybe. Maybe Valley. That's what it is. So let me tell you about them. So, oh, sorry, I got a pattern notification. Hello. Okay. So, they are made up of Rob Laska, who is the lead vocalist, Michael Brandolino, who plays guitar, Alex DeMaro, who is the bassist, and Kara James, who plays the drums, which is really cool because they have a female drummer, and that's really awesome.
Hell yeah.
Go her.
Big Lane Kim vibes.
Yes. And so it says that they were formed when 2 bands who were accidentally double booked for studio time, that's how they met each other, and then they took that opportunity to like start hanging out or whatever, and then they formed Valley. So they have 2 studio albums, one that was released in 2016 called This Room Is White. That's where I discovered them. I discovered them because of Mary. Let me make sure I'm still recording because last time, okay, I am. She sent me their song called Say, which was the first song I ever heard by them. It's really good. Their first album's really good too. I think they got really popular, like more popular with their song Swim. They did a reprise of it in 2018. I think that kind of helped them a little bit. So their first album was self-written and self-produced, got over 10 million streams, got a lot of acclaim for the song Swim. Closer to the Picture was a single off of this album, and it was written and produced by the band in collaboration with Andy Seltzer, who also works for Maggie Rogers, Tora Miller, Penguin Prison. I think there were some other ones in there, but I didn't include them. The most important one was Maggie Rogers. And so, yeah, this is their second studio album. It was released September 17th, 2019. The 2 singles off of it were Push for Yellow and Closer to the Picture. So, yeah, I guess they had I don't know, it says on their website that both tracks were featured on their upcoming EP, Maybe Side A, which was the first installment of a full project that Valley has been working on for the past 2 years and will be released in 3 parts over the next few months. So I don't know if this is the culmination of all of it, which I would say probably it is because there's 18 tracks.
Right, that would make sense.
Yeah, but they didn't have a Wikipedia or anything like that, so I couldn't, and they don't have the separate pieces on Spotify, so I couldn't like confirm for sure that this was the full project, but I'm assuming it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of cool too that they like broke it up a little bit, which is interesting. I don't know. I was trying to finish that sentence and then I just trailed off into nothing. So yeah, I really like this album a lot. Closer to the Picture came up on my Discover Weekly. It's been on my playlist for a really long time. And so, you know, in 2020, when I decided to stop being a little bitch and actually listen to albums, you know, instead of just songs that I like, I was like, oh yeah, this song is on a full album. There is more. And it's all way better than that one. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you have a favorite?
Yeah. I had 2 on here that I hearted. Closer to the Picture and Park Bench were my top 2. This album was not for me. You know, I don't listen to like typical indie music a lot, and this is like, if someone was said, what does indie music sound like, I would play them this album.
Yeah.
Like, it's very stereotypical indie. I know that this is gonna make you cry, but every song sounds the same. But I mean, I appreciate it's like good. I think it's good, but I won't listen again. But Park Bench had like a interesting open to it. And then Closer to the Picture just sounded good in my ears. So those were my 2 faves.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
I mean, this is the kind of shit that I listen to.
Right.
Like, it really combines like the classic indie music sound with like this 80s synthy poppiness.
Definitely.
And that's just my favorite fucking thing in the entire world.
Yeah. This is a very you album.
Yes.
This is like not a me album.
Yes.
For sure.
And it was a tie for me between There's Still a Light in the House, which opens with that like poppy synthy shit, and Push for Yellow, which has a really cool chorus. It has like a big kind of choir moment, which like I always get those too. Like, I'm always down for those. You can never.
We love a choir.
I won't ever be disappointed. I do love a choir. But yeah, this album is very cutesy, which I appreciate. But it's definitely like Tumblr girl lyrics and all of that. But I don't know. I think it's really fun, and it's a very easy listen. Like, I'll listen to it like at the gym or like whatever. It's not one of those that you have to like really sit and like marinate on, which I feel like every once in a while one of those coming along is like refreshing.
Yeah.
Cuz, you know, if you need an album or like some music to like make you just not think for a second, but like in a really good way, this is a good place to start. Or maybe if you're looking to get into indie music and you want to start somewhere, this is a good place for you to start.
Definitely.
Music like this. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Which song was it? I mean, and maybe it was more than one that featured a female voice. Was that?
Yes, that's the drummer.
Yes, I liked that.
Yeah. She's on a lot of them.
But there was one where she was like the chorus.
Yeah, I want to say maybe Nowhere Fast.
I did kind of like that.
It was like a slower ballad kind of one. I think she was on a lot of them. I'm trying to think which one exactly.
She had like more of a presence on one of them, and I did like that one.
Yeah, there's not a lot of times where she sings a harmony, and like I think I know which one you're talking about, because you usually just kind of like the upper, like she just takes the octave above and then just kind of like adds a little. Yeah, I did like how they added like the reprise, like the little extra things at the end.
Yes.
And like A Phone Call in Amsterdam acoustic. I thought that was cool how that was put on there. I wonder if that was like the last installment of their project or whatever.
It could have been, yeah. I'm trying to think. Somebody else just did something very similar to that. Was it the 1975? No, they just released like 2 singles every week leading up, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I feel like it was somebody else that we've covered semi-recently did something similar to that, where they released music in like small EPs and then made it a whole album. Like, just shoved it all together.
I know who you're talking about. I do remember that.
It's there.
I don't know who it is. It's there. I just don't know who it was.
Yeah, I can't.
And we'll probably remember at like 11 p.m.
I know.
Like, shoot up out of bed. Remember who it was.
I do like the album artwork on this.
Yeah, it's fun. Their album art for This Room Is White
It's cute.
is pretty cute also. I also listened to the Swim Reprise,
Mhm.
which was like the song that got them popular. That's really fun. It's a little like just ever so smidgen more towards like the folky side
Mhm.
of the world, which, you know, if that's what you're into. But
I think
yeah, I really like this band.
when it comes to indie
Sorry,
music,
I
no,
just-
you're good. When it comes to indie music, I lean more folk indie than I do pop indie.
Mhm.
Which I don't know why I said those backwards. Would be indie folk and indie pop.
It's okay.
But yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of, so I would probably like Swim Reprise
Mhm.
more than this album. But
Yeah.
oh, they were on tour with Len and Stella.
Oh, I guess so. I did not see that. I was just looking at their like website, so I didn't see.
Well, they're on
Where
their
they-
Spotify. It says artist playlists, and they have Good Songs in the
Oh,
Van, the Valley
nice.
Complete Collection, and then the Len and Stella tour.
Nice.
Neat.
So yes, apparently they were on tour with Lynn and Stella,
Fun.
which is fun.
Purple Team.
Oh, I didn't say how many. Okay, so they have a roughly 520,000 monthly listeners and 28,000 followers. Okay, I'll just put that in there. Okay, I'm
Who knows? Hi,
Go
Mom.
ahead.
That's funny. Their bio on Spotify says, "Who knows? Hi, Mom."
Good.
They look like people
In
I
any
would
band?
look at and be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
you're in LA."
Yeah,
They look very LA to me. But like
yeah.
they also could like rollerblade on Venice Beach type of LA.
Yes.
That's who I see them as. For sure.
Like, I would probably eat an acai bowl with them.
Yeah,
And have a good time doing
definitely.
it. Yeah.
It looks like everything that they own except for their shoes have been thrifted. Because they're wearing
Which, I mean-
expensive ass Converse.
Yeah. I can relate to that.
Because they have those
I have very expensive shoes, and
what's that brand that partners with Converse a lot that has the little heart with the eyes?
Oh, I don't know, but I know what you're talking
It's
about.
expensive. It's like a designer brand,
Mm-hmm.
but one of their people is wearing those in one of their pictures
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a good album. This is one of those bands like, I don't know. I always think of Mary when I hear them because she's the one who introduced me to them.
Right.
And if you knew Mary, you would be like, ah, yes, she does listen to this. But yeah. So I guess ever so slight nostalgia.
Yeah.
And just a good chill album. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel dancey.
Fancy.
Makes me feel poppy. I always appreciate. They did say on their website, this was like kind of cringy, but like also I relate. Their bio on their website opens with Valley is a band comprised of the 4 kids you used to know back in grade school. They were the ones talking excitedly about that classic band and some new artists in the same breath. Yes.
What?
Yes.
I'm confused.
Like, you know how people like aggressively want you to know that they listen to like classic rock and 80s synth? Like they want you to know, like you have to
Yeah.
know that they listen to that. That was
Oh.
them. I think that's what they're trying to
Oh.
say. Which I also kind of in the same way. I like get really annoyed at music snobs and then I turn around and I'm like, you don't even fucking know anything. Like, don't even come at me with that because I know everything. I can't even speak on that because I'm stupid, unfortunately.
It depends on
My bad.
what I'm talking about, how music snobby I get. But like,
Yeah. Well, it's just like when people are like, "Oh my god, yeah, I'm like obsessed with Pink Floyd. Have you ever heard Brick in the Wall? Have you ever heard of it?" And I'm like,
is there anyone on the
Yeah.
planet that hasn't heard it?
"Yeah, if you haven't, like, you haven't done much ever. You haven't left your house much in your life, I don't think." But yeah, because there are people like that,
Oh man.
and then I get really snobby. But then I turn into the person that I hate. Because then they do it. Because when people get music snobby to me, trying to drill my knowledge, then I just get pissy and then turn around and drill someone's knowledge like
That's
a
so
bitch.
funny.
So sorry if I've ever done that to you.
Oh my gosh.
I apologize.
Over Christmas, when I was in Texas visiting my family, we were at Billy Bob's, the world's largest honky tonk.
Mm-hmm.
Because my sweet, sweet grandmother, Connie, loves dancing more than anything in the world. So we went to the world's largest honky tonk, and they were playing a CCR song, and one of my dad's friends goes, "Do you even know what CCR stands for?" And I said, "Creedence Clearwater Revival." And my dad lit up. He goes, and then the next day he goes, "I don't think I've ever been prouder than when you sassily responded to Cody that you knew that, in fact, CCR stood for Creedence Clearwater Revival."
Yes.
It's that was his proud father moment.
Yes. I'm glad.
It was pretty funny.
I'm glad. I think our dads would get along well with each other.
I'm sure they would.
Because I'm sure my father has had similar moments, because that's the only thing he's ever tried to instill in me, is to know about music.
There was a live band there that night too, and he was actually pretty cool. I can't remember his name right now, but it's not really important. But as every song, he would play 2 songs, and then he would bring another person on stage, so that by the end of his set, he had a full band with backup singers and everything. But cool. He started with just him and his guitar, which was really cool. But one of his backup singers was this woman, and she did a Stevie Nicks cover. And it was like Stevie was in the room. She fucking nailed it. It was amazing. And of course, my mom and I were serenading Evan, and he just was very confused the whole time.
I had no idea whatsoever.
I'm there singing to him that players only love you when they're playing, and he just
I think I told Megan, I was like, when Luke and I get married, we're gonna dance to Songbird. And she goes, "You realize that they all hate each other, and when they were writing that, they all hated each other and then got divorced." And I was like, "Yeah, but the words so nice." So sweet.
What's that John Mulaney joke about that album? It's an album by people who hate each other.
It's like an album by and for people who were cheating on each other. Yeah. Yes, brilliant. Exactly.
Oh.
I saw a picture on Twitter, and it was this guy sitting at a table, and he had his headphones in, and he was labeled "Me Listening to Rumors," and there was a group of people in the back all punching each other, and it said Fleetwood Mac writing rumors. And it's yeah.
That's so funny.
That's accurate.
That's kind of like that.
So next
that
week,
meme of the dog sitting in the room full of fire. This is fine.
Yes. Next week we'll be talking about Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
I think we did.
I think we've done that.
Actually,
I think we did.
Next week we're going to be listening to a project called "You're a Dog" with an exclamation point. It's called that, and it's by a person named Remy Wolf. And one of these songs on it, called Guy, was on my Discover Weekly this week. And she is very much like a Depop girl. I don't know if Depop girls are a thing, right. But she is one.
But they are.
But I like her sound, so I figured we'd give her a chance.
Not even a thrifted wardrobe, a Depopped wardrobe.
Yes, specifically
completely
Depop.
Only Depop. Only vintage band tees. Only oversized.
In her artist photo, she's wearing a fuzzy cheetah print bucket hat with tiny sunglasses.
Yeah.
And a gold chain.
And the Chamberlain.
Kinda, yeah. But in the meantime, you guys can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of the above at Music Monday Cast. You can find us on any and all streaming platforms. If we're not on yours, find a different one because yours sucks, asshole. One more time, Music Monday Cast. That's us. You can listen to us, or you know what? If you're sick of hearing us, quit listening. I don't care.
No. We only have like 3 listeners. Don't tell them that, and they will.
I do want to give a quick shout out to my girl Lindsay. She texted me and she goes, I loved the idea of your yearly playlist, so I started one. And I was like,
Nice.
People take my advice? I'll cry in the club. I'm not crying, you cry.
Nice. Make yearly playlists and get an education. That's all I have to say. Those things are the same. Those things are equivalent. Pick one or both if you're feeling crazy. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got. I'm probably going to watch some Twin Peaks in a minute. Drink a little wine, maybe.
I spent my last 24 hours watching a poorly done series on Netflix by RuPaul called AJ and the Queen. And I watched all of it. It was riveting. Quite a show. I do not recommend it. Okay, bye. I don't know, you said okay, bye.